Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Thursday, November 17th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. Today's plenary session was interrupted 3 times with fierce debates between the majority and opposition MPs as the Parliament members disputed whose turn it was to give a speech at the Parliament podium. The first interruption was made after Democrat MP Albana Vokshi made accusations against the Minister of Health for dismissing the director of Tropoya's Health Care Fund, which incited the chairman of the Democratic Parliamentary Group to push the Minister of Health from the podium in an attempt to make room for the former Prime Minister, Sali Berisha. The Democrat MPs surrounded the podium in an effort to stop the Minister of Health from speaking, requiring security guards and bodyguards to gather around the podium to stop physical clashes between the MPs. The Vice Assembly Speaker interrupted the plenary session, giving the MPs 5 minutes time to calm down. A delegation of French members who were following the plenary session left the Parliament building after the disputes. Though the plenary session did resume, the atmosphere remained tense. The second interruption of the plenary session happened when the Prime Minister and the Democrat MP Flamur Noka were both at the podium. The Democrat MP did not allow the Prime Minister to give his speech by blocking the podium. After requesting the Democrat MP to leave the podium, the Vice Assembly Speaker interrupted the plenary session for a second time. When the plenary session resumed again, the Vice Assembly Speaker announced that the Democrat MP would be excluded from today's plenary session. The former Prime Minister, Sali Berisha, took the podium after the Democrat was excluded and left the plenary session. The former Prime Minister's speech was not related to the bills of the agenda, but he chose to speak of the floods, agriculture, and the Prime Minister's exhibition. The former Prime Minister accused the Prime Minister of abandoning the country in a time of flooding to take care of his New York exhibition. Today's plenary session should see the adoption of the authority, which will deal with opening the communism files. Socialist Party MPs have asked the Bureau of Parliament to take disciplinary actions against the Democrat MP MP Paloka after the incident with the Minister of Health. In their request, the Socialist MPs argue that disciplinary measures should be taken against the Democrat MP due to inappropriate language and use of force during the plenary session. The Socialist MPs ask for the Bureau of Parliament to gather and make a decision about the Democrat MP. During today's plenary session, the former Prime Minister, Sali Berisha, accused the government of being incapable of performing its duty. Mr. Berisha said that the government has not constructed any roads and has damaged agricultural products while favoring foreign products. In response, the Prime Minister said that the former Prime Minister lies about everything. The Prime Minister accused the former Prime Minister of being against opening Albania's negotiations with the EU and of doing anything to block the vetting law. You did not say any words about the integration and the common challenge of implementing the vetting law, for which you are doing everything to obstruct, said the Prime Minister, also indicting the former Prime Minister as being afraid of the vetting law. The Prime Minister also responded to the opposition's accusations that the majority has excluded it from the law on opening communism files, saying, "When you were a Prime Minister, you pledged to construct monuments and institutions, but you did nothing. The current government is taking the opening of the communism files seriously," declared the Prime Minister. The Democratic Party chairman held a meeting today with the Democratic Party structures in Shijak, where he criticized the government and the Prime Minister. During his speech, the DP chairman said that the Prime Minister could have already given higher pensions and salaries with the money he gives to his clients. He says there is no money for subventions in the agriculture sector. 220 million euro has been spent on luxury expenditures, which would equate to 500 per farmer. But he has not given any subventions to farmers in 3 years, said Mr. Berisha, adding that the Prime Minister has given 120 million euros to his friends in public works. They plant palm trees on the highway, which was flooded with the first rain. You should see high energy bills. What does he do with this money? Does he construct new energy lines? He has given this money to his friends, said Berisha, adding that the Prime Minister should have used this money to open new jobs, to make investments, to give subventions to the farmers instead. During the past year, Albanian families have spent more money on food products. According to the director of the Institute of Statistics, food consumption spending has increased because of increased prices of food products. The newly appointed director of the Institute of Statistics said that this year Albanian families have spent 1.9% more on foods than they did a year ago. However, according to the Institute of Statistics, Albanian families are spending less money on education. Compared to other cities, Tirana has higher family cost of living at roughly 82,000 lek per month. The cities with the lowest cost of living levels are Elbasan and Vlora. Even though Austria has guaranteed their support in opening the negotiations for Albania's membership into the European Union, the General Secretary of Austria's Foreign Ministry, Michael Linnart, declared that Albanian politicians must play an important role. During a press conference with the Minister of Integration, Mr. Linnart declared that implementing the judicial reform and high-standard elections are important conditions for opening the negotiations. We will be in favor of opening the negotiations, but first we should wait for the European Council's conclusions. We will try to convince our partners to hold a positive position. The sooner the negotiations start, the better it will be. It is important to highlight that everything is dependent on Albania, and it is very important to accelerate implementation work for the judicial reform. Elections will be held in the coming year. I do not think Albania's journey will be interrupted if elected officials meet the needed standards, declared Mr. Linnart. Meanwhile, the Minister of Integration emphasized that implementing the judicial reform, especially the vetting law, which the EU set as a condition, will be the key to opening negotiations. This process comes with a condition, which we have set ourselves, of implementing the judicial reform and the vetting law. I hope the EU member countries make a positive decision in December, the Minister of Integration declared. A few days ago, the Friends of Albania meeting was held in Brussels, where support for Albania's integration into the EU was highlighted. Friends of Albania is an initiative originated by Austria and Italy. That's all for our English edition this evening, and we will be going live to the plenary session.
Atëre miratohet me 75 vota pro, me 3 kundër dhe asnjë abstenim. Atëre kalojmë në një tjetër proces votimi, zgjedhjen e antarit të Komisionit Qendror të Zgjedhjeve. Në mbështetje të kodit zgjedhor, kandidaturat propozohen nga partia që ka numrin më të madh të vendeve vakant në kuvend, nga partitë e shumicës parlamentare. Nga grupi parlamentar i Partisë Socialiste propozohen 2 kandidatura, zoti Bledar Skënderi dhe zoti Erik Skëndaj. Konkurrojnë, siç e thash, 2 kandidatura për një vend vakant. Procedura është me 2 votime, votimi fshet me elektronik, kërkohet shumicë e thjeshtë për votim. Hapim votimin e fshet me elektronik për kandidaturën e zotit Bledar Skënderi. Mbyllet votimi. Atyre miratohet me 74 vota pro, 4 jo, 2 abstenime. Atyre, 1 minutë kolegë, se s'kemi mbaruar, këtu mbyllet procesi i votimit, poftojmë zotin Bledar Skënderi, me qënë se u miratua, që të bëj betimin për para fillimit të detyrës. Si antari zgjedhur i KQZ-s. Mira, ku është? Është? S'ka nevoj. Atere, ka një kërkes nga... Nuk votohet për sa kohë që u votua kandidatura e parë. Atere për të njoftuar ne njoftuam 2 emrat, po zoti Ruçi.
Rregull.
Po, me dhe ju.
Kur bëhet votim me elektronik, votohen të 2 kandidatë. Po marrë unë rastin e parë, kishim 3 kandidatë për 2, votuan 3. Rasti i parë, kishim 3 kandidatë për 2.
Po.
Votuan të 3, edhe në rasti konkret do votohet edhe i dyti.
Zoti Rama ka kërkuar fjalën gjithashtu për procedurë, zoti Rama?
Faleminderit zonja drejtuese e seancës. Doja të thosha atë njëjtën gjë që tha zoti Ruçi, plus që teorikisht ekziston mundësia që kandidati tjetër, pavarësisht rezultatit që doli, mund të marrë vota më shumë se ky, për sa kohë kishte vota kundër dhe abstenim. Kështu që është krejt korrekte në përputhje me rregulloren, votimi edhe i kandidaturës tjetër.
Dakord. Atëre, edhim në votim edhe kandidaturën e dytë të zotit Erik Skëndaj, hapet votimi i fshet me elektronik për kandidaturën e zotit Erik Skëndaj. Mbyllet votimi. Atëre 3 vota po, 36 vota jo, 38 abstenim. Ftojmë zotin Skënderi të bëj betimin si antari zgjedhur i KQZ-s. Atëre po lexoj tekstin e betimit. Betohem në nderin tim se do të angazhohem me gjitha forcat e mia për realizimin e zgjedhjeve të drejta, të lira dhe demokratike në Republikën e Shqipërisë, do të siguroj dhe të mbroj integritetin dhe fshehtësinë e votës, do të ruaj pa anësinë në kryerjen e detyrës si antar i Komisionit Qendror të Zgjedhjeve dhe do të tregoj profesionalizëm në kryerjen e saj. Zoti Skënderi?
Betohem.
Atëre urime punë të mbarë, zoti Skënderi. Dhe këtu mbyllet, votimi mbyllet edhe seanca për ditën e sotshme. Faleminderit.